Hello and welcome to Budget with Brian, and today we're going to have a look at this Makita DUH606 18V Hedge Trimmer. This one is marked here as naked, which is fun. So I bought it as battery only. I bought this one as body only. So here we are. This is what it looks like in the box. So we're going to do a quick unboxing. I'm going to put a battery on it and show you it running quickly. And I'm planning to use this tomorrow. So I'm going to grab some footage of cutting a little bit of a hedge with it. And we're going to tell you what we think about it at the end of that. But before we get into this, if you're not already a subscriber, please do hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and we'll let you know when our next video comes out. So there was a couple of models that I was looking at. This one being the DUH606 RT. There's something like a 506 RT, but this one is slightly higher spec. It has a ability to cut up to 20 millimeters in diameter of, I don't know, some kind of hedge. And for that reason, I went for this one. The two prices, this one was really quite a bargain. I think it was something like, I'm going to say 85, 90 pounds delivered. And the slightly lower spec one was a very similar price, if not the same price. I did have to hunt around for this. Normally these would be about 115, something like that, but I have managed to get it at that lower price. Lots of these things are available on Amazon at this sort of good price. There are higher models than this one, but they started to get into the more a professional level, which was more like 150, and then went up to sort of 220, 225. So this is relatively at the lower end, but it will cut up to 20 millimeters. We can have a quick look at the specs. So it is a brushless one. This is a fairly new model. It is an 18-volt LXT model as well. The cutting bar is 600 millimeters long, and as it says, it's a cordless hedge trimmer. There isn't going to be too much, I think, to learn about this, but let's get to the unboxing. Righty-ho, I'm doing this one-handed because I'm doing the filming with my phone today because I left the camera elsewhere. So here we are. There's a section here which was clearly for battery and charger. Again, bought this one naked, as the box says, or body only. So let's get that packaging out the way. We have, a little book, some more packaging, and then the tool itself. Now, I have to say, first impressions, this looks pretty professional. That's the side view of it. Has a nice flexible guard there. Obviously, this is where the battery goes. There's just a straightforward handle to lift up there. We'll get to know this in a moment. And obviously there's a blade guard. We can pull that off. There's the blade itself. Now I have to say, I would not want to be putting my finger. Oh, that's very, very sharp. That is surprisingly sharp. That is like, I don't know, I don't want to say razor blade sharp because I wouldn't be dragging my finger across it quite like that, but I have to say that sharpness is literally finding every ridge in my fingerprint there. That is sharp. So 100% want to be keeping your fingers away from that, especially as it can cut up to 20 mil. I mean, that'd have your pinky off, I think. It obviously is telling you, read the manual, don't use in the rain, don't put your fingers in the blade, wear eye protection. It says there that it might be as loud as 92 decibels. I've got nothing really here to test that, or really any interest to test that. But this is the machine itself. I think it's time to put a battery on and just show it running like that. Now look, I'm going to treat everybody today to a Makita original battery. I know we're going against the grain here. Do you know, I might not be able to start this with just the one hand, because I suspect you need two hands, which is very wise to start it. Yeah, you're going to need two hands to start it, because you're going to want to be able to have both hands in front of you. So that's a good safety feature. I might be able to hold it a bit like this. So I guess we've got one here, there, and then one underneath. Yeah. And literally I can't, right, so I might be able to swap, oops, I might be able to swap hands here, and we might be able to just, you know, oops, cut the wobble vision. Here's a blade view. So I'm holding up trigger 1, which is on the handle, and then the one which is just in a normal trigger position. Very good. It's light enough. I'm going to say there's one speed. The obviously with this handle here, you can use it in different planes, and you can get to do that. I think that's a really good design. I like that. I like the handle. Plastic. It's not rubbery. It's just a different coloured plastic. This is smooth. This has got a texture to it. I should imagine. This is rubbery here. Not sure what this hole here is for. I might just have a quick flick through the manual. I guess here we go underneath. I might take the battery off at this point. I'm not expecting to have a problem, but let's keep it safe. We've got something here. Do you know what? I'm going to read the manual just real quick. Okay, so I did learn something new. There's also a little red light up here that will blink when the battery is low, and it will be solid red if the battery is flat, or if there's something that has obstructed or jammed the mechanism. Now, on the bottom, I'm seeing something that possibly may require some level of servicing in the future. This can be removed. This also shows potentially, and I think I've seen this on some other models, but I don't know if it's particularly for this one, is a different attachment that could go on the front, which looks more like sort of fingers that sort of does this, and sort of as short as fingers for sort of cutting I don't know, smaller things with that. I will have a look, and if that is such a thing. But the mystery of this one continues. I suspect it's, this hole here in the handle, I suspect it's for maybe some sort of lanyard or something like that, so that you can put a string through it and have that hanging on you, potentially while you sort of climb a ladder or get on a platform or something, and then you can have it perhaps like that. So the next shot will be a bit of an action shot, getting some cutting use out of it, and we shall see how we go. Here we are on site, if you like, and here's some really nasty looking brambles of all sorts of different dimensions. I've had a bit of a go at this with my brush cutter, but I think this would be a good opportunity to test this lovely new machine on quite a variation of different thicknesses of hedge, if you like. So these are brambles, so we'll give brambles a go and see how it goes. Now this is going to be a little bit difficult to sort of film. We're going to do it kind of like POV and see how we go. So here we go. I'm going to have to say it's very, this machine's very quiet, and if I can just show, it just snips through this. Here's something a little bit thicker, look here. It cuts through that ever so smoothly, and just nips it off. Here's something up here that's worth a look. Just slices through it. I'm actually very impressed. Brilliant. So that was the DUH606 body only. I found it to be incredibly good at cutting that bramble bush. And indeed, I think this is going to be a very handy little tool for the price that it was paid, especially brand new in a box like this. I'm fully expecting this to be quite the workhorse and also be very reliable. Again, if you're not already a subscriber, please do hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.